So I'm recording this right after a lot of stuff for anniversary got announced. Madam President is an unbeast class servant. Um, we get more than what is it like 1,200, 1,500 credits if you're like completely up to date with the main story. That extra 1,000 is only gonna last till the end of the year. So make sure you actually are up to date and able to do the finale for part two this year. So, time to talk about the GSSR banners, and forgive me for this not being as crystal clear as it usually is. I'm doing this like before the sites even update. Like anniversary is not live while I do this, so yeah. Forgive this not being like the best quality, but I'm just trying to get this out the way. All right, so this year we have a lot more GSSR banners than the last few. They have taken out in the last few years they've taken out some of the older servants and just made it year 5 plus. This year 10th anniversary they're giving all the servants. So let's go through these banners one by one, and I'm just gonna give my opinions on it and whether I think it's super strong. So this year it's class by MP type. So first one, single targets. We have Sigurd, Okita, Musashi, and Bride Umu. So I hate Sigurd. I think he's a really bad 5-star that needs buffs. Hopefully they buff him during this anniversary because he fucking needs it. I like Kurohime more than him, so this is out. Okita, unfortunately, not she's not been treated very well by time. You have a lot better single target quick sabers. Saber Medusa right over here. So I don't have the highest regard for Okito. I do want this character, but I don't want to go out of my way for her, is my issue. Musashi is really good. She hits Moon Cancer's alter egos really hard if you don't have something to properly counterclass. And like also her MP scaling is just like really, really nice if you have overcharge. Like she overcharge puts in a lot of work. So if when you do mighty chains with her, like you're able to put that arts card crit at the end, like all her hits, like you might honestly be able to get way higher than just overcharge one off her own carding. Kind of just depends on who you're fighting though, and if you have other buffs to help her gain up. And then Umu, it in regards to tertiary supports, as in or not tertiary, secondary. Yeah, no, Umu is a secondary type of support where uh, if you're at a point where just quick buffs aren't enough to get a character to loop, you would bring Umu because Umu has a battery with a lot of MP gain tied to it. Essentially, like characters that don't have batteries, um, depending on how much like quick they don't need, you can quite possibly use her in place of a Scotty, and it might actually help your looping gain, or help you with looping to the point you, if before you weren't able to do double Scotty Oberon, there's actually a good chance you can because and it's mostly for servants that um, it's like they're looping just below 50. That is when you use Umu. All right, moving on because I really don't want this to honestly take forever. Trunk Sisters, uh, Benny Emma, Medusa, Astolfo. Astolfo is just funny. He was a funny character, but Saber Medusa a lot better than him, more consistent. Her kit makes way more sense. Benny Enma, good. She got a glow up earlier when she got a battery on her dodge, I believe, and yeah, she just functions a lot better now, just because she like is faster. But Trunk Sisters, these are really good multi-core. I downplayed them when they first came out. Uh, when I got to play with them on NA, they were just fun. For a multi-core, just use them with Morgan, and you got a lot of just party-wide MP gain at that point. But yeah, so far I'm like these two banners are not what I would be going for personally. Next banner: Muramasa, Arthur, Shiki, and Ibuki. I've been saying Ibuki needs her first skill buffed for like a long time. If Melisyn has it unrestricted and she has 130 battery in her kit, why the fuck is Ibuki hit restricted? It's like, I hope with the buffs it's either Sigurd or Ibuki, because the thing with Ibuki, it just pisses me off. It's not necessarily bad. It pisses me the fuck off. Because like her extra attack will never see her attack buff, and if you use your cards wrong, you're not gonna see the attack buff. Void Cheeky can do Black Rail farming. Arthur, I believe his farming is fixed. I'm not sure about damage though. Muramasa, he, his looping is not as good as Takeru. But if you need to card, you would use Muramasa, not Takeru. Takeru can't card for shit. But Muramasa, you have to be way more careful because you can easily fuck up his looping. Speaking of Takeru, he's on the banner with Charlie, Okita Saber, and Richard. Okay, so Richard, crit monster. Out of all of these servants here, every single one of them, he is the hardest critting out of all of them, hands down. His numbers can get really, really stupid. Yeah, it's just it gets to a point where like you would genuinely, for like 3-turn farming, if you can do somewhat multi-core, you would choose Hakuno over Oberon. Yeah, no, I'm being like really serious about this. Like his crits on the Vitra node. Yeah, no, his buster crits on the Vitra node, if you're able to secure like buster crits, he's gonna just do so much damage. It's something. It's just something that makes him stand out in comparison to like all these other loopers. Is like all of them just want to do looping. He wants to crit too, and like I can't understand it. One buster crit will take down the dragon in that farming. One, his buster crit hits way harder than his MP. Charlie and Okita, they are about the same. If you get one or the other, don't complain. Charlie with his buff feels a lot better and is, I think, better than Okita for how I use him, like in just more sustained stuff. But Okita, 3 turns, pretty much embodies quick, 3 turns, and it's over. And Takeru, single target with splash damage. Just make sure you aim at the high health target before you actually do damage. Otherwise, like unless you are trying to card for refund 2, you should be aiming at the highest target for the MP, not just like letting the computer choose. All right, Saber's done. On to archers. King Tut, Moriarty, Squirtoria, Orion, and Ptolemy. Ptolemy. So King Tut, he is very niche. If you need to sacrifice, if you need a unit that can sacrifice, he can also go to 0 to 100 on his own, no help. Like he has that much charge in his kit that he can genuinely get to his MP, sack himself, and then you just keep rotating. It does open up a lot of doors when you're farming, and you can use more low stars as like actual supports in the backline if party cost is a problem. Moriarty, he is someone that I want, but I'm still debating whether I actually want to summon for him or not. I might try to scoop him off just something and get him on one account. But the thing is, I have okay on JP on my alt account. Like I don't have any of these characters, but like Super Ryan, he's really good. Like if you have the right setup for him. Like I'm just trying to think. Like this would be a banner I pick just because I don't have that many characters on it. But I don't on my main. I wouldn't risk this because I have Super Ryan. And on my main JP, I have MP2 King Tut, so getting an MP3 would just not be desirable. Yeah. And then Ptolemy, he's able to switch MP types from AoE arts to single target buster, and the goal is honestly to be swapping around. His gameplay is unique, and yeah, it's just fun character. This one, on my main, I would avoid it like the plague, only because I don't want an MP6 Gilgamesh. But Gilgamesh, Onesan, John, and then Feet Ishtar, or Feet Rin. So, Gilgamesh, what can you say about Gilgamesh? If you're fighting servants, he's gonna hit really, really hard. If they're saber servants, he's gonna hit them very, very hard. And then as long as they're servants, he's just gonna hit them hard. Ishtar, I feel, needs to be hitting Black Rail, for it to be worth it for her at this point. Her mana, her charisma needs to kind of be looked at. And then John, I don't have the best feelings of her just because like I like Zenobia more with her crit potential, but at base like she loops very easily. You don't need much to get John to loop. Okay, Archer. The last Archer banner we have Takasugi, Sei Shonagan, Tomi again, and Durga. So Sei, she gets a lot of hate. Some of it is justified, some of it isn't. She did get buff, and now I believe she has a 50 battery herself. And she just has a whole bunch of power mods that just make her a decent crit servant if she's able to spam her MP and use her cards effectively. But it's like very wide net, not likely for all those things to line up. Very not likely. Durga, it's John, but more damage. Way, way more damage. And it's kind of why I'm like, John over here, because like John doesn't have refund problems, but she does have damage problems. Durga does not have those damage problems nearly as much, because for her, she might run into damage problems in the weaker nodes, and then you're really shit out of block. Well, Durga, more likely than not, she's gonna get super effective. So clearing earlier nodes are much less of a problem, but FGO's kind of past that point at this point. And then Takasugi, he's just solid. That's all I can say. He's just solid. Is he like super amazing? No. He's a generically good servant, but that doesn't mean like he's like bad, or it doesn't mean generically good is a bad thing. All right. Next for Lancer, and hopefully, because it's about to be reset time, I can get a better image for this, and we can go from there for the rest of the video. So, I need to avoid this banner like it is the fucking plague, because Shisho is here. Now let me give you some context. When Shisho is on a banner, I summon on, I get Shisho. That's just how it works. That's just how it is. That's why I have an MP3 Shisho on my main. Shisho here is here. Tamamo's here. Melusin is here, and she's on the she's on 2 again because she's Melusin. Bisione and Brynhild. I really like Bisione. Melusin is Melusin, and Shisho is Grand Support Lancer. And Tamamo needs an MP buff. And Bryn is Bryn. Definitely the dud here would be Bryn. Tamamo does have the potential though because she hasn't gotten her MP buff, and they're not buffing Melisson. Moving on, Aresh. I like Aresh. Probably not. And she's able to do fun black girl looping, like different than normal, with double Oberon. I haven't had much chance to fool around with that, but yeah, maybe in the future. Grand Roma, make his own niche. Yeah, honestly, this is a very, very solid one for Lancers. Like, super solid. I would pick it over this one. Because Ryoma, Indra, and Britomart, like, all three of these characters are good. Indra, I thought he was a little better than he was. The appeal for him is buff strip. Spam the shit out of buff strip. Which, again, isn't a bad thing. Like, no one else here is doing buff strip, so I mean, if he has it, he has it. Oof. Okay, so this one is, if you don't know, like, this is two supports. This is two supports and Made Alter. Made Alter, not as good gameplay wise, but popularity wise, she's still, it's Saber Alter in a very, very skimpy bikini. It, like, while she's riding a motorcycle and shooting a fucking sniper. And then you have Reigns and Constantine. This I can really see a lot of people picking, because Constantine with his buff, people might not want to summon for him, but they do want this character. And Reigns is, if you can get her, I would get her. And if you're able to include it into your farming, like you're newer to the game, you don't have Castoria, or you're just trying to use other supports other than Castoria, you would have to give up a CE to make it so she MPs first. But if you do try to get like a really early MP with her, it will help your MP. Yeah, it will help your looping a lot. And then she also has like 50 spread charge. So however, like even if you don't loop 100%, like you have enough small batteries that you can spread it out a lot more than usually. Next banner, Iskandar, Ivan, Davinci. All three of these good farmers. Davinci isn't needed as much because most people aren't farming QP like that on that node. Most people are farming the raids. Most people are doing lotteries. A lot of people are farming the Doman Stormpod node. So yeah, like Davinci as a, like, just the best QP farmer. You kind of don't need it. It's like any AoE rider will do the job. It's just Davinci is infamous for doing it the easiest. And these two are pretty much in the same league. You would use them for farming, essentially, like in the same places and same setup. Both 30 battery. Ivan is defense down, while Iskandar, I believe, is just like really, really high burst damage. In comparison, Kakita Shingen, he has looping very similar to Aresh, and he kind of needs, like, the way his kit is, he kind of needs to be black rail looping. Like, starting from 50 for him just isn't enough. It's not enough damage for him. So he needs the setup, while Aresh can kind of get around it, because she has super effective. Andromeda and Bakken. These two people, especially Andromeda, people do not have high opinions of Andromeda. I think I like her because, in the sense, like, from a gameplay sense, she is the exact right class for what she's supposed to be. Casters only get attacked twice if they're by themselves. The more she gets hit, the more she crits, the more MP she gets, the more she can spam it. She wants to be getting hit. She is a really good tank. And, like, survivability wise, she's probably one of the tankiest servants in the game for, like, doing her effective class. But the thing is, people don't need that. You don't need that right now. Maybe when we get Grand Rider trials, she will be helpful as like just someone you pick off your support list. She might be support rider, but probably not. People, you're gonna see on your friends list when it comes to assassins, caster, and rider. You're gonna see Reigns. You're gonna see Constantine. You're gonna see Scotty. You're gonna see Merlin. You're gonna see Castoria. You're gonna see Tonalico. You're gonna see Vitch. That's who you're gonna see for your supports. That's just how it is. Bakken is the same way. She is better for multi-core because whenever she uses her arts cards, she gives charisma to the party. It's only 5%, but 5% is still better than nothing when your DPS doesn't have to do anything. Moving on to casters. Ilya, Scotty, Merlin. You would pull on here for Merlin because of his buff. Merlin with his buff is definitely like worth the pull now. I'm honestly trying to think. I think because on my alt account, I kind of do want to pull on this banner. What the thing is, that would be MP2 Ilya if I don't get it. Yeah, no, I'm going through this, and I think on my ult, I'm gonna pick this banner because it's either an MP2 Ilya, or I get Caster Scotty or Merlin, and that alt account honestly could use it. Yeah, no, I'm probably pulling on this one, but that's just alt. I still haven't decided for main yet, so we'll see. Do I have to explain this one? Am I allowed to? Okay. So, this is the most used character for the last fucking 5 years. Probably 6. Moving on. Izumo no Kuni. Really, really strong single target caster. Unfortunately, her competition is single target alter egos, aka Melt. Yeah, and Melt got her buff, while Okuni has not. You're going to be way safer using Okuni fighting assassins, but Melt kind of just has that, just like firepower. And you can use Melt in more places. Miss Crane. If you are new to the game, I would avoid trying to work in Miss Crane to your team. She is extremely frustrating, even for people with a built account. It is so easy to mess her up if you don't already do what she wants you to do, and that's put your DPS in the first slot. I know that, like, for me, it's just a nitpicky thing. I like putting my DPS in 2, not 1. So I frequently mess up Miss Crane. But if you're someone that always puts her DPS in 1, no matter what, you're not gonna mess up with her. But if you're someone that like puts her DPS in a different slot, it's just annoying. All right, moving on. Actually, 1 second. Let's see if I can get a better image for this now. All right, we got better resolution for this. All right, so next one we have Murasaki, Da Vinci, Umu. More likely than not, you're gonna avoid this one. You're only gonna pick this banner if you like these 3 characters, which I would honestly pull in here for completion's sake and snag Murasaki, but no. Umu still needs like 1 more buff. Or no, she's able to do the black rail looping now. Like, she's already able to do that. You need a pen 5. But I would still, I don't know. Yeah, this one's probably not going to be popular over this one. And this one is because it has Alice and Tonalico, not Ono no Kamachi. I snagged her really early. I don't use her that often. And yeah, AoE quick when Alice is here. Sorry. Alice is Alice. Kama, Hassan, MHX. This one has been buffed out the ass. Literally everything is buffed. King Hassan is King Hassan. He could get a buff to bring him up to Kama. He just needs an MP buff because right now it does nothing. It's like insta kill, overcharge, I believe. Kama got buffed and like she's best single target assassin, hands down, easily. So if I didn't have my Kama already, I would pick here, and if this wasn't JP, I would pick here to get Hassan. But yeah, on main, this would be MP3 Kama, MP2, and then this would be new, so I'd avoid. Semi Rami's, she, I believe, got a buff. I'm not. Yeah. It's either she got a buff or. Yeah. Like, this is the first time I'm bringing this up. Yes, no, her third skill did get buffed. Yeah. Okay. No, I remember. Yeah, power. She got a power mod against poison and applied it first. Nah, yeah. No, I remember. Yep. Yeah. Cleo. I believe she also got buffed. And she's doing good. Yeah, no, I remember. Cleo got buffed, and like her buster farming is just way more consistent than the Semirami's. And then Shuten, you gotta make, if you want to make Shuten work, you gotta like really work for it. Farming with Shuten is like farming with Shiki, except worse. Oof. If you pick this banner, I don't blame you. Tez, Koyan, and Hyunjo. These two awesome. Hyunjo, you'll need at least one Scotty to make her pop off, but most people are probably gonna pick just for Koyan. On okay, so this is probably one of the most mixed bags out there, and it's not just because there's 5 of them. It's because Lilith and Castoria are good pretty much everywhere. MHX is super good when her niches line up. Hijikata is good when you play around the low HP. If you don't, yeah, like if you use Hijikata and you don't play around low HP, you're wasting so much of this character. So much of him just wants to be low HP shit, and he does so much damage. And then last great horse here, Kintoki. I don't have the highest praise for him. I think his kit is very generic, and his utility is definitely overblown when it comes to farming because it's just speed. He is only there just for speed, not for damage. And like consistently wise, I think these two especially are just better than Kintoki at this point. Especially if all he had was the 50 battery. She has a 70 and she has 50 if I'm not mistaken, with way more to her kit than just an attack buff too. So yeah, a lot of people are probably gonna pick here. Just berserkers in general, honestly. All right. Also need to stretch. Because it is still too early in the morning. Gotta take a shower and everything. So moving on, we have Raiko, Arjuna Alter, and Musashi. Raiko, I think people downplay her, like what her farming actually is now, because it's only servants. That's Raiko's kind of like big weakness. Like a lot, like all of her power mods are servants only. If I'm not mistaken, I'm willing to look this up, but I'm pretty sure, like, if you're not fighting servants, Raiko isn't going to do that much damage. But at the same time, she is a Buster Berserker. Does she need that much extra help? Yes. And the thing is, if she's not fighting servants, she gets power mod against demonic. If you're fighting demonic servants, GG's. Yeah, no, if you're fighting a demonic servant that is Earth or Sky, she's getting 200% power mod for 3 turns. Oh, misclick. I have truly actually been on the rise of thinking Arjuna Alter needs a buff at this current point of time. I think they need to buff his 3rd skill and make it do something for him. Like maybe even just put a debuff on the enemy. But right now he's looking a lot weaker than when he originally came out. The game, it's like for a while Arjuna Ultra was the baseline. Now Melusin is the baseline. Juna has not been the baseline for like game balance for a while. And right now, pretty much every character that's been coming out has been like way, way, way closer in strength to Melusin than they have Arjuna Alter. Especially when you look at some of the characters from last year. Like, okay, so genuine question. How many servants this year came out with 50 batteries than 30s? Especially when you look at Quick, which is infamous for having 30 batteries. For the longest time since the pens came out, Quick has been balanced around having a pens. Indra, Ono no Komachi, just off the top of my head, those 2 have 50 batteries as Quick servants. And if I like really looked at this for the last year, I might see more. Like one. Oh, Lilith. There we go. Lilith. 3 that came out in the last. Wait, nah. No. Yeah, no, that's once a month. Once every other month. Once every other month, they release a new Quick servant with a 50 battery. That, like, okay, so, and, like, you take that in context, like, every other new servant, okay, no, because of OC4. But yeah, no, it's a lot more closely together than it normally should be. And it's, like, 3 of them. Like, that's a pattern. Yeah, and Musashi, she outdamages archers. She outdamages single target archers as an AoE berserker. Yeah, like general farming, good, and if you're fighting sabers, amazing. But why do they make berserkers that are stronger than archers? It's literally the reason they had to start buffing Bob and She's MP. They have to buff archer MPs because the berserkers are just too good. What to say about this banner that hasn't already been said? Ibuki is still one of the best farmers in the game. The most recent Lotto, she was able to just do it like single core farming. Legitimately able to do a 90++ that has a 50 CE, and she does it single core when one wave has one enemy. I still think Summer Ibuki is the baseline for AoE arts. Summer Melusin, Space Arash, I still think Ibuki is still the baseline. She's still too good. Giving her anti-earth just made her staying power too much. These 2, both anti-man. Rikyu, if you plan on, like, if you're able to do a lot of crits following, she really wants Caster Scotty, not Ruler. Berserker Morgan, Grand Berserker Morgan. I have a lot to say about this character, and she is far, far more than just a buster farmer. That's where she scales over these 2. If you bring her to fight man, there is no competition. There's absolutely no competition. She's doing single target damage, and because you're buster farming, she has power mod for her, and she has super effective, and they multiply into each other. Her damage is just so explosive, it's not even funny. Oh yeah, and then she has another power mod on top of it, in case she didn't have enough. Yeah, like you really can't go wrong with the Berserker banners. Like all three of them have really good characters. If you're able to farm, you're able to use those banners. Simple as that. Yeah, the stronger your base account is, the better these banners get. So that is the 7 Knight Servants. Now we have extra class to go through. Sorry, I gotta catch my breath. Woo! A lot of talking already. I just woke up. I know, I didn't just wake up. I was in this chat watching it. Alright, so Count of Monte Cristo. Jean d'Arc Alter. Teach me Miss CL. Because I'm doing it on purpose, by the way. If you're seeing the Tsukihime playthrough, you can tell I'm doing it on purpose to trigger the bad ends. I'm not like about choosing bad decisions because I'm choosing bad decisions. It's purposely to see Miss CL. Tyra, and Uesugi Kenshin. All 5 of these characters are good. All 5 of them. Like, if you want them, go for them. Any one of these characters are really not going to be disappointed. CL is definitely the account changer here because using CL and Summer BB together creates some of the funniest shit out there, and it truly is really fun farming. It is just really good farming using Miss CL. This banner, this one is definitely more like if you need the characters. So BB Dubai, there are a lot of welfares that are living humans. She buffs living humans and moon cancers. Thus, getting BB Dubai is just future investment for any future moon cancers you get, and any other collab characters that come out. Say, Shiki Tono is gonna happen, chat. It's gonna happen when the next part of Tsukihime comes out. The Far Side Path with Akiha, Kohaku, and Hisui. Possibly Alko 2. Possibly Alko 2. If that Carnival Phantasm joke is led to be believed. She was already in the fighting games first. So let's see if the remake Nasu actually fucking does it. Yeah, Holmes, if you need him, like, I think people should have at least one copy of him just because it makes things a lot easier, or use Calamity Jane. With him having a 50 battery, it's honestly less setup, but you have to use the MP. Himiko is seen in the same regard as, where are you? Constantine, although Constantine focuses on just MP damage, Himiko focuses more on buster crits. Kishi Wong, I have high praise for him, but he could definitely use buffs to like just make his survivability just like even more monstrous. All right, stretched out a little bit during this recording. All right, yeah, I heard the pop in my knees. All right, moving on. OG Dante's Summer BB Amakusa. If you're pulling on here, it is only for Summer BB. Dante's, he still loops good. Amakusa, he still does his job. Still feeling a little slow, but you can't replicate what you can do with Summer BB. And again, if you have CL, this combo is devastating. Giving them the BBC as as Naya says it. I know how bad it sounds. If you know what that means, you're already too far gone. You're too much of a Fate fan. If you know what those words, if you know what it means, you're too far gone. Next one. Nobu Avenger, Bunny Toria, Spishtar. Still crazy. She hasn't gotten a buff yet. These two have gotten the buffs they needed. She's sub DPS now, and she still puts fear into gods. Not give people the fear of gods, puts fear into gods. Yeah, no, this banner is getting your dick stuck in something. Getting stuck in a door. Getting stuck in a very diseased hole. And getting stuck in fire. At least with this one, you can pay to get it unstuck. Unfortunately for these two, that's not happening. Well, unless you give her attention, then you'll probably get it out for free. And luckily you have Asclepius. Luckily you have Asclepius to heal you. But I don't think getting stuck in this, I don't think it can heal you from that. He might be the god of medicine, but I think that's even asking too much from him. This box, we have Moriarty, Ruler Scotty, Popus Johanna, and Ark. You're pulling on this banner for Ruler Scotty. Moriarty has gone up with his buff. Popus Johanna, you get her for Art's crit, but you don't need that. And Ark is Ark. Funny vamp. Her farming is fun, but doesn't synergize with these characters. Next one, Op Raiko, Summer Mellison, BB Dubai again. Because here, this is support. This is BB Dubai as an AoE, and Metatron John. John is generically good, and scales well with all like farming supports. Yeah, no, she scales well with just supports in general. Whether they're buster supports, damage, as long as it's not pure attack, she pretty much will scale really well with it. Raiko is definitely the weakest person here. But if you're bringing Scotties, you're going to see like good crit damage. Melt is Melt. I really like Melt. If you're pulling on here, it's for Melt, and I guess Yanguife. Sorry. I'm honestly downplaying Abigail. Abigail got buffed, and she does do really good damage. She fills a very similar role that you would use Jarcher in. 50% single target buster, but she has slow charge, if I'm not mistaken, or she has, I don't want to speak out my ass. I don't have Abigail on JP, that's why I'm saying it like this. Yeah, no, she has she has slow charge and she has a 50. But this battery is party wide too. The slow charge is party wide, along with MP damage. Yeah, no, it's why you would use Abigail is used more than Jarcher because not Jarcher, Jolter, because Jolter I believe is only an attack buff, and only dragons get the double attack buff. Everyone can use, if you're doing multicore, no multicore like DPS is not gonna want MP damage and slow charge. They're definitely going to want that. That just helps out multicore a lot. So, yeah. This one, honestly, has gotten a lot better. I would say 2 years ago, or currently on NA, yeah, no, this banner, not that good. As it is right now on JP, this banner is a lot better. Next, Bunyan, Phantasmoon, Wangina. Funny Vamp is doing even more Funny Vamp things here. And she is like the only single target Buster Pretender. Like you can do reliable damage. And she's really good at multicore too. Like really, really fucking good. Wangina probably is gonna be the one that most people just try to avoid. She is a lot more. Like she also has different nets, but now her nets affect her supports, which isn't ideal. Um, so you have to do a little wonky shit with Wanjina, if you want to take like full advantage of everything in her kit. Um, and I just have trauma from Bunyan. The trauma is pretty much gone. If I want to go on this banner, I probably would, and that's an MP5 or MP2 for these two. So if I wasn't already probably gonna go for this banner, um, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, no, on main, I probably would go for this. Yeah, and if I didn't have the current situation I have on JP, I would have gone for this with Van Gogh. Probably Destiny Summon is gonna be Van Gogh. Yeah, no, because I'm not risking this because, but Zet is MP2. Um, I think on my main JP I only have MP1. Um, Lady Avalon, but I kind of don't want to risk like two MP3s, just to try to get Van Gogh. I'll if it comes down to it, I'll summon for Van Gogh on my own, like on a different banner. Um, okay, Oki to Alter, Kiara, Hokusai. Yeah, all these guys, all these three doing really good. Uh, Still waiting for this buff, but we're just waiting for Gouda, I guess. Next Gouda, we get her MP buff, and then she just pops off. But these two both doing what they can, and Kiara with her buff, doing better than she was before, or than she is right now in NA. She's gonna get another buff next year with OC3. Almost done. Come on. Okay. King Protea, Summer Abigail, Voyager. Uh, Abigail, I want her to be like a support. I really want it, but until that happens, she's still Summer Abigail. Still has her flaws. Um, yeah, she's just someone you kind of just want to wait to see how they buff her. KP, I believe, can do farming now, although it's just still wonky. And again, Voyager, decent, but he's been getting a lot of buffs to make him better. No, 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 no. I'm avoiding this one like the plague. Um, I don't need MP2 Oberon. I don't need MP2 Doman, and I do not want an MP6 Shock to Malay. No, thank you. No account is going to go for this banner on any accounts. Not even NA 2 years ago is going to avoid this one like the plague. Thank you very much. Moving on. Rasputin, Koyan Dark, Tiamat, Cuckoo. Koyan Dark, it depends on whether you need one copy or not. I think she's just good for multi-core reasons alone. You would want at least one copy, but Tiamat and Cuckoo, if you can if it's not your first copy, I would probably try to snatch them on here. You really would want Tiamat at MP2 for ease of use, so you can easily get back earlier turn pops with farming. Same with Cuckoo. Any Buster farmer, if you can get a pen 2 and 5, it just means they're able to pop to double pop a lot sooner. They're able to not a lot sooner. They're able to double pop in turn 2 instead of guaranteed double pop in turn 3. And the last one. And again, if I didn't have MP2 Alco on all accounts, this probably would be something I look at. But Typhon is equivalent to Tiamat. In some cases, she outdoes Tiamat, but you're never gonna use them in the same fucking place. It's actually impossible that you would use Tiamat and Typhon in the same fucking node, unless they're berserkers. In which case, if you're fighting berserkers, why specifically those two? When you can do a lot, you can do a lot more. But Hibiki and Shikagi, these are characters I kind of wanted to get because they were Type Moon characters. Alko is still Alko, and I really haven't talked about Alko, but Alko is Alko. She's just fun, but not someone people need to get if they don't want her. But if you do have her, I would recommend trying to get to MP2. MP2 just feels so much better than MP1 with Alko. Like, please, 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 if you have her and only MP1, I promise you, she feels so much better when her when she pops her battery. It goes above 100, and then it drains. You don't lose the full battery. Like she's just able to function better. More than any other support, I would say, is important to have her at MP2. More than Castoria for getting extra MP, so if she gets strained, you can still pop. Alko, like, her skill feels fundamentally worse if she's MP1. And that is all the banners. Yeah, I'm gonna try to have this out as soon as possible. This should still be coming out today. Other than that, I gotta get ready for summoning for Madam President, the one I actually voted for. I voted for this president, and yes, the election was fair and balanced. No election was stolen. There were, even if there were no other candidates, Madam President still won the election. All right. Enough of the jokes. I will see you guys later. Happy 10th anniversary. Enjoy the fucking 1500 St. Courts. Enjoy getting, like, basically 2 pities. Yeah, my my free-to-play account is gonna be doing good because I don't even know if I'm gonna be pulling for Olga. I haven't even looked at her kit. Yeah, peace. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like or sub. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.